From the very beginning of his career, Prince wanted control over his art. In negotiating his first contract with Warner Brothers, he wanted the right to produce his own music. And as a young artist, record company was understandably hesitant and apprehensive about this request. They gave Prince a shot to see how he would perform in the studio. The single, When Doves Cry, when he played it for the executives at Warner Brothers, they were like, this is an incomplete song.
You talk about things like When Doves Cry, which doesn't have a bass line, which was one of the, like just revolutionary themes like that, to put a song on the radio with no bass line, and you don't even realize it because it's hitting so hard.
He was clearly able to handle the production duties that were required.
Prince hates people covering his songs. Apparently, I've heard. He gets really upset. I think when I actually did the recording When Doves Cry, he put out a press statement saying that he was like sick of people covering his music. Sorry, Prince.
We all know Prince owned his music. He didn't let you can't even go on YouTube and pull up Prince songs right now. Even if you pull it up, most of them won't play. You know what I mean? So he was in control of his entire destiny.
In many instances, his artistic instinct was successful, and that only fueled his drive and commitment to his own voice even further. In the early 1990s, this relationship he had with his record company, where they would accommodate his artistic impulses, began to fray.
He was actually battling Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers controlled his masters and they weren't releasing his music and they weren't marketing it. The relationship was being abused. He wrote Slave on His Face and he changed his name to the Love Symbol.
When Prince changed his name to a symbol, it kind of messed me up at first because I was young and I didn't get it. And I was like, what is this dude doing? When you get into the business and understand how the business works, it's very serious, and it was just a powerful moment.
There was a period when he was like, I'm not with the majors no more. Like, these cats are playing games. They're not giving me what I deserve, and they're not giving me what I agreed to. So he opted out to go straight to the consumer.
First started with a 1-800 number. And there are reports that when you call the 1-800 number, this was such an entrepreneurial initiative that his then girlfriend, soon-to-be wife, Maite, would sometimes answer the phone.
He was running commercials and he's like, yo, call in and I'm gonna mail you the CD directly, or having concerts and interfacing with crowds and then selling the music directly.
This was a very intimate, direct relationship with the fans, and then he was one of the earliest artists to adopt using the internet as a way to distribute his music directly to his fans. And the first project was a project called Crystal Ball.
With Crystal Ball, I think it set a standard in terms of controlling your own distribution and then making your fans feel like, okay, I was integral in terms of making this project happen.
97 is when he began taking these orders. This is Kickstarter before Kickstarter. Like, everyone donate, and if we reach a certain amount, then we'll get it. If not, it's canceled.
He was able to create his own lanes and his own kind of channels to go directly to consumers, and he was retaining all of that money, so he's balling on another level.
Was always someone who wanted to control his art, to control how that art was delivered, and as the technology caught up with his wishes, he certainly made use of it.
Now that Prince has passed away, they put his music on Spotify. And it's so wild disrespectful to me because he fought his whole life to keep his music off of streaming services. And as soon as he passes away, they're like, oh, boom, right on Spotify.
He was just a champion of artists having their own rights. And I think we see it manifested in people like Chance the Rapper.
You always were so forgetful.
Who just got a Grammy without having a deal, just made $1 million contribution to the educational system in his own city without having a deal, and is doing extremely well, especially when you're coming from a system where it's normal to take other people's creative content and claim it as your own. He said it's gonna come a time when it's unconscionable for another person to own another person's musical catalog because that's a piece of their soul. That's a piece of who they are. So I think that's one of the reasons he knew it was so important to fight for this. It was about the money, it was about the acknowledgement, but he's like, nah, you're not gonna pimp my soul, you're not gonna pimp my spirit, because this is God-given.
Men, these skinny jeans, they didn't just come from nowhere. Prince was wearing skinny jeans before there was a skinny jean.
It was a way of challenging this ideal of that you have to be super duper hard and angry and all the time. It's like, no, I'm chilling over here with my heels on and my 3 girlfriends.